Something that's been on my mind and in different conversations is the three levels of alignment. So, of course, we're bringing it to wealth, health, and happiness. And what's been coming up in conversation is three different levels. Whoops, there's a little typo there. So, looking at what's your long term plan, what's your medium term plan, and then what's your short term plan? One, two, three. And are those in alignment with each other? And so I've seen this been happening in a couple different ways. The futuristic thinkers, the innovators, their long-term plan is usually lined up, perhaps the medium term as well, but maybe not the near term. And on the other side of the coin, the practical implementers, they're usually super clear on what their next most important step is. And they're like, I don't want to focus on anything else other than my next important step. So, but then what about the medium term? What about the long term? So what's been coming up in conversation is tweaking the alignment so that it's super smooth all the way through. So the question that I'll start off today with is, what feels out of these three, short term, medium term, and long term, what feels the most out of alignment right now? Because that's the weak link in the chain that we'll address in our group flow state experience right now. So for example, I realized just for myself, I'm like, okay, long term, super aligned. Medium term, super aligned. Short term, let's tweak it a bit. Let's figure this out. So, and you might be the flip reverse. So let me know in the comments of what's resonating with you, of what's the weak link in your chain. And there's no shame or blame here, because what we're going to do is we're going to do the subconscious clearing to tweak that up so that you're feeling in flow short term, medium term, and long term with your wealth, health, and happiness. And as you're typing, the examples of this is, if you're super clear on short term, it's like, all right, I know exactly what I need to do. Wealth, health, and happiness is super clear. Not clear on that is like, okay, one of those feels a little out of place. All right, so Tim shared, say, medium term, could use a tweak. Interesting, interesting. Manara said long term. Interesting. Okay, great. So that's what we'll go into for this, because there's certain blocks that we can have, certain fears, certain friction, certain resistance that can almost like cloud our vision of what to see. And then especially you throw in a little bit of getting pulled in different directions, and all of a sudden it can be hard to see. I know it's been for me at times. So Eric shared the short term for me is where I feel the greatest immediate impact can happen. Okay. Great. So this is what we'll dive into. And before we do, I think it's good to take a note of, with the level that you chose, medium, long term, short term. Now let's make a note of what feels the most out of alignment with that right now. Is it wealth, health, or happiness? If you had to choose one. And if you want to keep it private, that's totally okay. If you want to share, that's up to you as well. Once you have yours, if you could just let me know in the comment that either you have it, or if you want to share it, you can share. Okay, Eric has it. Great. Tim has it. Nara has it too. Okay, fantastic. So that's what we're going to go into this group flow state experience, is focusing on that certain level, focusing on that certain item of wealth, health, and happiness, clearing up any friction so that it all flows